Dylan, it's Grounds Week, the week when the industry shines a spotlight on the works of the likes of yourself across both football and all sports. I think last time we spoke to you for this, a year ago, you've not been here too long. How have you found it these last just over a year at the club?
Yeah, it's gone very quick. It's strange to think that it was over 12 months ago, really. But no, it's been good at the club. We've had a lot going on, really, which is the exact reason why I came to the club. Lots of different challenges with the weather, the concerts, the Rugby World Cup, but we seem to have come through them all relatively well. We've had good feedback so far this season, so yeah, it's been good. Really enjoyed it.
Good feedback. I think last time we spoke to you, certainly on camera, you just picked up that award, head groundsman of the year, young groundsman of the year. Sorry, how obviously a big honour for you.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm still getting plenty of stick about it, which I need to hide, I think, a little bit. But yeah, no, it's really pleasing. To be fair, and not many people do get nominated for awards, so yeah, I've got to be proud of it, really. And thankfully the pitch behind us is kind of performing how we expected as well. I was a little bit nervous about that kind of going into the winter, all the hype kind of going into winter, but it's nice that we've kind of come out of winter in a relatively good position with the pitch as well.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you to kind of assess how the pitch is at the minute.
Yeah, I think it's okay, to be fair. Obviously the last 2 weeks have been a little bit difficult with the weather. We've not been able to do a great deal, but I'd say with that's some of our learnings that we've taken from previous postponements, as well as a club and as our department. So we've got the colours down a lot more earlier than what we have done. So when we had the Harrogate town game on a Tuesday night, the colours were down on Friday afternoon, which raised a few eyebrows across the club, I think, but it was kind of justified within that. And then straight after the Harrogate game, the colours were down, and had a great backing from the club within that. And I think that kind of shown when we had the chief operating officer and a few other members of staff helping us with the colours as well. So you know, without other staff and other departments helping, we wouldn't be able to get games on. And then yeah, the same for the Wimbledon game, really, as well. It was a little bit more touch and go, but I must praise our club secretary Adam Grice, who was great as well, kind of communicating that with the league and just making sure that we get all the processes 100% right to make sure that we get the correct decision for both teams, and more importantly the fans within that as well.
How pleased were you on that Saturday morning when the game got the go ahead? You know, the work that you'd put into to try and get it on. As you say, it was very, very dicey over the Friday night into the Saturday morning, but how pleased are you when that decision was made?
Yeah, very, very pleasing. It was just nice to get one on in the weather, really. It's never nice getting a game called off, so no, it was nice, and nice enough for us to be able to cut it as well, which was nice because we hadn't actually touched the pitch since the previous game. So yeah, to be able to get the game on, very pleasing and rewarding. And without my staff, that wouldn't have been possible. They worked really, really hard through that spell, and within that, we made sure that the first team could train as well. So 2 sessions which didn't look like they could take place did take place, and that wouldn't have happened without the hard work of my team, so special mention must go to them as well. And
so talk a little bit about the team that you've got at your disposal.
Yeah, so there's 4 of us for the stadium and the training ground, so we are a small team, but we work very well together. We've all got different strengths and weaknesses, which I think is really important as well, but they've got a great work ethic and they fit into the culture of the club amazingly well, which is so important as well.
I think last time we spoke to you, it was just after your award. It weren't too long since that Danny Schofield had come into the club, and we touched on then the differences of working under different managers, head coaches. How have you found it these last few months with Danny at the helm?
Yes, Danny's very demanding as a head coach, which I think everyone knows around the club, which is a good thing. It's positive. He pushes us every day. He demands the best pictures, the best everything, which is nice. But yeah, every manager is slightly different, so they all come with their own challenges. But so far, we are meeting them expectations that he set, really. We have monthly meetings with him as well, just to make sure that we're kind of on the same page of what he wants and what we want and what we can provide, more importantly. sometimes when it's been chucking it down for a week, we can't always provide that. So that kind of communication ahead of them times is important, and I think as the more he's been here, that kind of communication and relationships built up where we've got that, where he's easily contactable and approachable, which is better for the whole club, really.
Yeah, I think people probably underestimate the demands that are on you in terms of getting the training ground up to a certain standard as much as the playing surface here at the Eco Power Stadium.
Yeah, definitely. Danny wants to train how they play. And that goes with the same surfaces as well. He wants consistency across everywhere. Everything he wants to do, he wants to be consistent with. So yeah, it does add pressure with that. But he's understanding as well when things can't be done. He understands there's a reason behind that, really. So yeah, and his staff are great with Chad Gribble and Paul Green as well. So we're closer to them maybe on a day-to-day basis. But Danny's there in the background to support when we need it. As well.
What are the challenges ahead? We're obviously into the period where we've got rugby and football overlapping. What are the challenges over the next couple of months for you? Yeah,
so it's just really trying to get through to the end of the season. We're now in a position, well, hopefully, where the pitch shouldn't decrease anymore. We are through to nearly in April, so hopefully we'll have some warmer temperatures to come and we can get back in our shorts, which is the most important thing, and get our summer tan going. No, but it's just keeping on top of things, really. Planning our summer renovations, which are already underway. We're all set, ready to go. If we make it to the playoff final or not, we're all ready to go from our side of view, no matter what happens. So it's just a case of keeping on top of things and just hoping that weather improves and helps us out, really.
As I mentioned at the top, it's Grounds Week. This obviously shines a spotlight on the industry and looking to encourage people to get into it. What would you say to people thinking about this as a potential career path?
I personally think it's the best career you can have. The rewards are great, no matter what level you're at. You can only improve playing surfaces or gardens. It's great. It's really rewarding, really pleasing, and thousands of other people get to see work as well, and that's really rewarding and satisfying as well. And to work in professional sport as well, it's great. You get to see things that you never thought you'd get to see. So yeah, it's really insightful within that as well.